Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rob Review. I'm your friend in success, and I want to talk to all of us today, millennials and younger. Have we run out of time to build wealth? Has the economy that we live in today killed our ability to build wealth, especially generational wealth? That's the question. Fear abounds. This idea that inflation is destroying millennials' ability to invest, which then has a complete downturn effect on the stock market, right? Wrong. I don't believe it. I don't see it happening. I do see the market as a whole over the next 5 to 10 years, as the oldest baby boomers reach more and more retirement age, they're going to start pulling out money that's going to eventually cause a downturn in the market for some time that's going to be bigger than we've ever seen it. I do believe that's coming. But that doesn't mean that over the next couple of years, 5 to 10 years until that starts happening, that you can't profit massively from the opportunities that our current economic situation has to offer, because we can't help how we start this journey. We just have to start. And so if you're a millennial, what do? Your income has been crushed to the point where you probably don't have a lot of extra income from your job to invest. And the money that you do have to invest in the stock market anyways, you've seen where the prices are so high that you can't really buy shares that make it worth your time. I understand that. So here's what I suggest you do. Let's change it up. Let's not start the way that everybody else starts. You can still win at this game if you change your mindset and you look at compounding your money faster than inflation can eat it up. But you do have to have some capital to start. So number one is let's get some capital somehow. I would say minimum about $1,000, all the way up to, you don't need more than 3 or 4 or 5, to start trading. Trading is not investing, but trading can compound your money. Now, not just trading, but trading in a very specific way. Trading indexes, and not just any indexes. We're talking about the SPY here because they're one of the cheaper indexes, SPY. And the SPY allow you to do something very unique in the market, which is find opportunities to trade on a monthly basis. Generally, you can trade the SPY anywhere from 12 to 36 times per year on a very condensed 5 to 10 day window. What do I mean by that? The spiders, trade them. Start journaling the S&P 500 daily. Start tracking how it moves. Use the daily, 3-day, and the weekly charts to track the movement and to focus in on looking for setups. Now, once you do that, the idea here is to shut out everything else and focus directly on just learning how the SPY move, because they move differently during earnings, during warnings, during different times of the year. And there are plenty of places where you can trade it way more than one time a month. I get it. But what we're trying to do is trade off the daily, because no matter what type of lifestyle you have, you can trade off the daily because you choose when to trade when the market's closed. And then all you need is a couple of minutes in the morning to enter your trade. And then you watch it based upon the close of the market every day until you're ready to exit. The daily gives action. The weekly tells you what the trend is, and you trade with the trend. And the 3-day allows you to have support that says, okay, the daily wants to move, the 3-day has room to move, and the weekly is going to keep pushing up, so we're going to trade up. Or the weekly stalled, it's sideways, the next move is down, the 3-day has room to go down, and the daily is going to give you entry down, so you do a put. The next step here is, once you have established the movement in the charts, you begin to build recipe setups for yourself that fit your risk tolerance. So you want to get an account, open it with your money, get approved to trade options, calls, puts, and then naked puts and naked calls. Why? Because long term, you're going to want to make as much money off of every move as you can. And trading naked allows you to, every call, profit from a naked put, and every put, profit from a naked call. I just closed a trade on NVIDIA yesterday. I lost 28%. But my naked put me in profit because my naked put was a couple $1,000s that I kept after I bought it back for less. And so was I really at a loss? No. That's the beauty of a naked option. But you can't start off trading it with a small account, so you want to practice it. That's the next piece. Practice more in the beginning than you do with real money. And every practice trade, treat it like it's real. Document everything. Why are you entering? What is the setup that this is, and does it work? If it works, why did it work? If it didn't work, why didn't it work? What did I do well? What do I need to do better next time? What can I improve on? You become a machine at learning in that respect because you shut everything else out and you're narrowing down your focus to the point where all you need to do is learn how to trade the SPYs so well that you can print money from them. The next piece is when you do trade and you are knowing that you're going to buy a call or a put, what do you buy? I like monthly options, maybe weekly, on a very rare occasion, depending on how much movement is there. And I like 1 to 2 strike prices out of the money, no more. Out of the money allows you to get the most bang for your buck. If you trade 1 to 2 out, the spiders will move right into it and you'll be into profit faster. Once you start understanding the value of this, you will be astounded to know that my goal is only to grow by 20% a month. Not the principal, but every trade, 20%. And once I have seen that I have done a trade where I have at least 20% profit, I keep that money very tight-fisted the rest of the month, and I just do practices. Now, does that mean that I close out of a trade just because I have 20%? No. Because a lot of times you're going to find these spider trades, especially when you're trading off the daily, you're going to have 200% gains, 100% gains regularly. But the goal is still 20 because 1, you're new, and 2, there's going to be times where you're going to realize that even if you just achieved that and compounded this over the next 5 to 10 years, it will be massive, the amount of money in that account. And what we're going to do with it is going to blow your mind. You ready? All right. So you're growing it, you're growing it, you're growing it. It's just astounding how much it compounds. But you still have to pay your taxes. So 1/3 of everything when you close out a trade goes to taxes, separate savings account. 1/3 stays to grow the account. So every time you do a trade, the amount of money you're putting into the next trade is bigger than the last one. The principal grows, your mindset grows, and you as a trader grow. Now, what do you do with the last third? That's the beauty. That's where we're talking about building wealth. You have now created, by moving the money out of that account into a separate account, a constant funnel of money to invest with that doesn't come from your own income. Therefore, inflation can never touch it. And as long as the stock market stays, the rules stay the way that they are, you can always know that you're going to have capital when opportunity presents itself. You can do hundreds of thousands of dollars into an index trade easy. I've seen even bigger trades go into indexes. And when you're talking about, let's say like I've done an index trade where I got a 600% return. Imagine putting $100,000 into a trade where you get a 600% return and 1/3 of that going to an investment account. Now, at that point, you're going to hate paying your taxes, but I mean, is it really that big of a deal, right? And at that point, you realize that if you miss a trade because life happens, or if you don't get quite as much last month, there's always going to be the next month. It's like having a never-ending stream of targets to hit when you're hunting or when you're shooting. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing because your ability to grow that money replenishes every single month in and month out, and you're going to get better. And here's where you can change the rules a little bit. Once you get to where you're about 70 to 80% profitable on a regular basis in that account's growing, the naked side of trades is starting to be a real thing for you now. Now you can start doing even more trades than 1 or 2 a month because you can open yourself up to doing trades on shorter chart time frames. But don't mess with it until you have an established track record. Now, what do you do with the investment money? Now, we've got the trading money, but trading really doesn't grow wealth. If trading grew wealth, then you wouldn't have traders that have good years and then disappear the next year and you never see them again. Wealth is grown by owning steadily growing companies or stocks. So, this money over here in this investment account, what can you really do with it? I would say start off buying companies, 10 to 12 well-chosen stocks that are global optionable and have enough growth potential that you can double your money over 5 to 10 years, at least. And then those stocks, you need to be able to buy a minimum of 100 shares when you go in to buy. So it narrows down your focus and allows you, once you have 100 shares, to be able to do some cool things with options that we can talk about in different videos or on the newsletter, theunderaccreditedinvestor.com. It's free. I do it for the benefit of y'all and for the benefit of me because I get more out of it than y'all do. But here's the other cool thing. Because of inflationary times that we live in, every investor in real estate and every entrepreneur out there is looking for a better way to get access to capital. And now, you, as the stock market CEO that you are, as the cool trader that you have become, have access to a huge, huge amount of capital over here. It's just been growing and growing and growing. And you can be a hard money lender like you've never seen. Now, I don't mean hard money like most of you know it, and if you don't know what it is, it just simply means instead of going to a bank, a real estate investor or an entrepreneur can come to you and for a nice, tidy interest, you don't gouge them, they don't gouge you. You come to an agreement and you buy ownership in small companies that are growing, that are starting up, or that need capital to expand. You find yourself building relationships with investors out there that are basically starting their own business investing, and so they're going to need more and more capital from you. And you've created a pipeline of places to funnel your money to. Now, if you found that beneficial, I'd like for you to take a minute, go to the underaccreditedinvestor.com. It'll really benefit me if you do the subscribe thing, you hit the like button, and leave a comment below so I know what you got out of this video, what you want me to talk about in the future. But going to the newsletter and joining it allows me to not only give you some great assets that I have to teach more about what the stock market can do for you, it also allows for you and me to build a connection and start getting you going down your path to building a stock market business that can literally change your family's financial future. It's changed mine. I once upon a time was just a guy that knew he wanted to be rich but didn't know how to get there. And I went from broke, in debt, kid working in a tire plant to a business guy that invests in a lot of different things, helps other entrepreneurs out, and is literally just living my life how I want to live it because the stock market allows me to have freedom in my finances.